So you want to be laser beam accurate? Well, I have some Warzone tips and tricks for how to get better aim in Warzone. What's up guys, it's Average Joel, making average content for the average viewer, and today I wanted to do another Warzone tips and tricks video, and to be honest, I think this one is going to help you in all areas. Whether you want to get more kills in Warzone, win more games, or, if like me, you live for hearing raging nerds call you a hacker in the game chat just because you miss less shots than John Wick. So let's talk about how to get better aim in Warzone. So first of all, I think that the most important thing that we need to discuss when talking about accuracy in any game is recoil. Obviously player skill is going to come into it at some point, but let's be honest, some guns are going to be a lot better than others when it comes to their recoil patterns. So I tested a few of the most commonly used loadouts in Warzone to see which has the most accurate gun. Now, before I show you the test results, there are a few things that I think are super important to understand when discussing a gun's recoil profile. First of all, there are two types of recoil, vertical and horizontal. Now, I'm sure that you guys can make the distinction between the two, but just in case we have some viewers who spent their youth playing Call of Duty too much and not going to school, I'll briefly explain the differences. Vertical recoil is how much the gun will kick upwards, and horizontal recoil is how much the gun will jump from left to right. Now within Warzone, we have a number of attachments that will help negate this recoil, and in their descriptions they will say that they either help with recoil stabilization or recoil control, and I have seen quite a few people that get confused on this point. So to put it as simply as possible, the ones that say recoil control will help with the vertical recoil, and the ones that say recoil stabilization will help with that left to right bounce. So let's look at some popular weapons and how they perform. Bear in mind that I set these weapons up so that they perform exactly how someone would use them in Warzone, but you can actually kit them out so that they will be better for dealing with recoil. Just bear in mind that sometimes you will lose mobility because of this, and if you're using things like the muzzle brake and compensator, you will be shooting unsuppressed, which in Warzone puts you at a massive disadvantage. So let's start off with the M4 and the Grau 5.56. As you can see, both of these weapons have a fairly predictable recoil pattern. For the purpose of this test, I am literally just holding the trigger down and not making any adjustments whatsoever. And as you can see, the M4 shoots straight up for the first third of the magazine and then quite sharply shoots to the right, whereas the Grau will maintain a consistent upwards and to the right recoil pattern. When put into practice, this means that if you are firing the M4 in bursts, you can be pretty certain that the bullets are always going to shoot straight upwards. For multiplayer, this works absolutely fine because the chances are you will have killed the enemy in this amount of shots, whereas in Warzone you will most likely be engaging targets at a longer distance, and as a result you'll be missing more shots, so you'll be firing for longer. This is where the Grau can shine, as you will have a consistent recoil pattern that you can learn and adjust to. Now, let's take a look at the most popular SMG for Warzone, the MP7. As you can see, this gun has an extremely predictable recoil pattern, as it pretty much goes straight up, so you'll be able to control this with relative ease. Look, I showed you these weapons because at the moment they are currently the most popular guns in Warzone. However, as you've been seeing in the background, I've been using a different weapon. One that honestly feels like I have some sort of cheat codes enabled. Like seriously, some of the shots that I can hit with this gun make me want to report myself for hacking, and I feel filthy just thinking about using it. And that is of course the M13. Well, let's just take a look at the recoil pattern. The M13 has such little recoil that you might as well be firing a high-powered stream of water at your enemy. Like seriously, if I could piss this straight, then my missus wouldn't make me sit down when I go to the toilet. Having a recoil pattern like this is going to make you so super accurate that even the worst player will be able to use this gun effectively. So these are the base recoil patterns, but showing you these are hardly Warzone tips and tricks. I want to take it one step further to tell you how to make the M13 even more accurate. First of all, in every single one of these tests, I have been using a foregrip, whether that be the Commando foregrip, the Merc foregrip, Tactical foregrip, any of them. As we discussed, this means that our bullets are always going to be shot one on top of the other. I'm not saying dead straight up, but what I mean is that you don't get any randomness when the bullets go side to side. This means that you only have to worry about controlling the vertical recoil. This is something that can be easily done, but will require you to put in a bit of time and practice. What you need to do is practice how much you need to pull down on the right stick to negate the recoil pattern. The great thing is that because Modern Warfare has predictable recoil patterns, once you get comfortable with a weapon, you will know exactly how much force you need to put on that stick, and over time you won't even think about it. It will just become second nature. Take a look at how accurate you can make this weapon. This means that you'll be able to challenge people at ranges that you have no business challenging. It means that if you're in a squad, you'll be able to fully suppress a sniper and maybe even get the kill, whereas even with top tier weapons like the Grout or the M4, you will have a much harder time. Honestly, if you haven't tried the M13 yet, I implore you to go and try it right now. Well, after this video. Right, so that's enough about your primary weapons. The other most essential piece of equipment that you can bring to the Warzone is your sniper rifle, and it is so crucially important that you can shoot your shots accurately. It has been debated for months now which sniper is better in Warzone, the AX50 or the Dragunov. Just kidding, obviously I mean the HDR. You'd need to have a serious brain injury or be a sadist to willingly use the Dragunov. Now, both of these snipers do have their merits. The AX50 has the potential to be extremely quick when aiming down sight, meaning that if you are a skilled player, you'll be able to snap onto enemies at medium range and do massive amounts of damage very quickly, whereas the HDR is a lot slower and more cumbersome. However, where the HDR excels is in its bullet velocity. Now the bullet velocity, or how fast a bullet travels, translates into a massively important gameplay feature, and that is bullet drop and bullet lead. Let's just see how the bullet drop works with the AX50. Massive shout out to my pal Chris for letting me shoot him in the head over and over. I must say it was extremely therapeutic. For these tests I did bump the health up to 200 so I could only get a one-shot kill to the head. So let's take a look at it. As you can see, I was aiming right between his eyes, but when I shot, I got a hit marker, meaning that I was most likely only hitting him in the upper chest. Let's just see what happens when I aimed at the same place with the HDR. Pow! Slotted him right in his stupid little face, but do you get my point? With the attachments in the HDR that give you the best bullet velocity, it practically acts as a hit scan. Now, this was the longest line of sight that I could find in private matches, and when you are actually playing a game of Warzone, the chances are that you could be shooting at an enemy that is up to and above 5 times this range. This means that if you are using the AX50, the bullet drop is going to be exaggerated even more, meaning that you will have to get the sweet spot above the enemy's head just right in order to get that one-shot kill, whereas the HDR, you just have to aim at their head and send them packing to the gulag. This also makes a huge difference when leading a moving target. With the AX50 you'll have to both aim above their head and aim quite far in front of them, making it extremely difficult to hit that shot, whereas with the HDR you only have to aim just a little bit in front of them. So yeah, unless you're phase testy, I would highly recommend that you exclusively use the HDR. Another one to add to the Warzone tips and tricks I want to talk about is the reticule. A huge complaint that I hear about the HDR is the fact that you cannot see the target very clearly because of the red arrow on the crosshairs. This one is such an easy fix, but I don't think a lot of people know about it. All you need is 50 kills with the regular sniper scope and you unlock this super clear and easy reticule, and it will really help get better aim in Warzone. Now, before I finish, I just want to throw one more Warzone tip out there that will help you with your aim a lot. The issue with this tip is it will cost you a little bit of money. Now the cheapest thing that I want to suggest is a set of Control Freaks. I did see if they wanted to sponsor this video, but apparently 1400 subscribers isn't enough for them, so I guess I'll just have to do it for free. But what these do is extend the reach of your thumbsticks, meaning that you can have your sensitivity higher, but because they are longer, you can still easily make smaller adjustments to your aim. This is such a valuable resource as it means that you can be super accurate at longer ranges, but also have the ability to turn on an enemy when they get up close and personal. I used to use these all the time. However, I have now upgraded to something even better in my opinion, and that is the Xbox Elite controller, but you could also use any of the scuff stuff, or I think PS4 has a periphery now. This has interchangeable sticks so that you can benefit in the same way as with the Control Freaks, but also you get the addition of the paddles on the back. This means that I am able to run, jump and slide around the map whilst never taking my thumb off of the right stick, so I am able to maintain my aim even whilst employing advanced movement tactics. But yeah, these last two tips are in no way essential, but if you really want to know how you can best improve your aim in Warzone, then they will most definitely help you out. Other than that, the main thing you can do is practice. Maybe before you settle in for a long session, you load up a private match with bots and set their health to 200 and just melt them for 25 minutes. The main key to getting that accuracy up is going to be repetition and muscle memory. Anyway, that's it from me today. I really hope that you found some value in this video. If you did enjoy it, a like rating is always appreciated, and it would honestly make my day if you'd subscribe. Those of you who have watched these videos for a while will know that I love to see who sticks around until the end. So if you're still here, I'd like you to let me know by answering this question down below. What gun is your favourite to use in Warzone? Anyway, that's it from me today. I'm Average Joel. Peace.